time will be when I skip. Time will start when I skip this first cutscene. So we'll look for the sparkles, and I'll give you a quick go. Alrighty. So here we go. And go.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
All right, so first matter of business here, we're going to head back to the scum bar. That's where we're hanging out just previously. You may note, for people who've played this game before, the screen is kind of pretty snappy. It's not scrolling over slowly. This is a tech called Snap Scroll. It helps us save some time in a couple spots. We've got to wait for the chef here, sneak into the kitchen. And let's see if we can get entry. We have to wait for him to leave. If you see his elbow out the side of the screen, that means you got in as soon as possible. So this bird, casually, most people probably grabbed it in 3 cycles to get the bird to go up the max distance, but we can get in 2 as long as we're quick. So now that we've raided the kitchen in the scum bar, we got our first 3 items. This kind of sets us off. We get to skip talking to the pirates in there, but our titular character here is Guybrush Threepwood, and he wants to be a pirate. So to do so, we need to complete the 3 trials. The trial of thievery, the trial of sword fighting, and the trial of treasure huntery. So each of these 3 first items we get kind of sets us up on one of those 3 paths.
Yeah, it's
Just
probably
really
worth mentioning as well that
skipping quickly through the text there.
Jumping in real quick with just mentioning that we're running this on DOS versus running it on Amiga. DOS is faster for kind of 3 main reasons. The main one being that we actually can't skip dialogue on the Amiga version using dot skip. We can speed the text up a little bit, but we can't really rip through it like you just saw there in the circus. So that helps a ton over the course of the run. We also get some better loads room to room on DOS. And also that speed glitch that we talked about at the top does not work either. So always optimal to go for the DOS over Amiga if you're looking to go really fast. The other version, I guess, to quickly mention is Special Edition, which came out in the early to mid 2010s, I guess. They kind of remastered this game with some new graphics. That is Is it 2009? There you go.
I think so.
It's a good place for new runners to start because it's widely available. You can get it on Steam or GOG. It's not too expensive or anything. They did a nice job with the remaster. It has some great redone music and stuff. It is a heck of a lot slower than the DOS version, enough so where it has its own page on speedrun.com. They took out speed glitch, for instance, on that. It also has this weird kind of nagging thing where it recenters your cursor to the middle of the screen, which can be really annoying because, as you'll see, Spade will kind of prep his cursor on where he needs to go next constantly, room to room. So, yeah, I mean, it's a good place to start if you're looking to start running these games, but optimally, you want to run on DOS.
Yep. So, got our first bit of shopping here to do, and then we're going to show off. We're gonna make an attempt at a pretty RNG strat. Woost, do you want to cover that?
Yeah. So this is called Credit Early. Casually, when you're going through this game, you're going to want to try to watch the shopkeeper open this safe. We're going to try to just brute force this thing and open it without knowing the combination at all. There's 4 general moves that we're doing. So a push and a pull and a push and a pull. So Spade is...
I can't believe it.
Hit. So
we got it. We got Credit Early.
This is a pretty crazy strat that I think it has just under a 10% chance, 11% chance of hitting. But we're basically testing 28 of the possible 256 combinations really quick. We go for 28 because if you go any further than that, you will kind of cut into time that you would have saved doing it normally. But by using kind of quick saves and quick loads, you're kind of saving certain states of the combination so that you can kind of try a couple things afterwards. So he's doing the third number quick and then the second number quick and kind of ripping back and forth. But yeah, that's an 8% chance of that happening, what just happened here. So this is actually a pretty spicy run right now. Good job, man.
Wow.
Marathon luck. Yeah, good job.
We did it. Oh, my heart. Okay.
Oh.
So to get back to what we're doing here, we're going to talk to Otis here. We're trying to steal an idol from the governor's mansion here. So we go in, skip a cutscene. We need to come back to the mansion with a file. So we go talk to our buddy Otis there. We trade some gopher repellent for a carrot cake. And fortunately for us, the carrot cake had a file in it. So thank you so much, Otis, for sharing. So now we get to jump in this hole and then teleport out the window. Thanks to our cutscene skipping. Looks pretty funny there.
That's one of the better animations there.
You get to see, you get to see Elaine briefly there. She's a pivotal character. It's kind of what drives Guybrush here. Okay, so that's the trial of thievery done. 1 of 3 trials done in order to become a pirate. So next up is the trial of sword fighting. So a big RNG section here. But we have some pretty clever ways we can help deal with the RNG. But firstly, to kind of cover how the insult sword fighting works, is that, well, to cover it, I'm going to actually defer to the woofs because I'm going to focus here for a second.
Sure, yeah. So yeah, this is the trial of sword fighting. So our kind of ultimate goal here is to find and defeat Carla, who's the sword master of Melee Island. Sword fighting in the world of Monkey Island is a little different than normal sword fighting. It's a little less about how good you are at sword fighting and a little bit more about how good or how well, I guess, you can insult the other sword fighter. So the way that this works is we're going to be collecting insults from pirates, and they're going to insult us back. So we'll get some insult responses. We need to defeat 3 pirates before we can get to Carla and have a sword fight with her. The way, I guess, we kind of need to build our insult inventory, as it were. So we'll listen to other pirates insult us. We'll remember those. And then we can kind of counter with a response, a witty response on the way back. So we're going to collect some responses as well. The route that Spade is doing is going to take 4 pirates in total. So we'll lose probably the first pirate here just to grab some insults and grab some responses. And then we'll win the next 3 afterwards. Somebody in chat mentions it's a pirate rap battle. That's a really good way to put it. To beat a pirate, we're going to need to have 3 successful trades in a row. So we would win if they don't know the answer and we insulted them. That's one exchange that we win. If we're on the defensive and we throw back a good response to them, we would win that exchange in return. So we're collecting all of these responses and insults because we do need to eventually fight Carla. She won't give us the time of day until we fight 3 of them. She has a bit of a different kind of mechanic with hers in that we can't insult her. She only insults us. I mean, she's the boss after all. But she also has a different set of insult responses or insults than any of the other pirates. That it actually benefits us in a way because some of her insults will accept 2 different responses. So there are 3 or 4 high value kind of insult responses that Spade is looking for right now. We're using the same kind of technique as we were using with Credit Early, where Spade is quick saving during these things just to get the right RNG. As you can imagine casually, this is an RNG fest, completely random, you know, what every pirate knows, what they give you, what you respond with. All this stuff. So right before Spade says an insult, for instance, he'll save it. The RNG for this is determined right before the text pops on the screen. So we can kind of quick load right before the pirate responds, and we can manipulate if they know the answer or not. Or if we're looking for a specific insult back, we can also manipulate that by saving and loading super quick. That seemed pretty fast, Spade.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Not the fastest ever, but here's the Carla
pirate method there. Yeah, so here we go. So like I mentioned, Carla is a little bit different. She's just going to insult us, and she has her own repertoire of insults. And casually, you can actually use these insults on the other pirates, and they get upset because it's unfair you're using the Swordmaster's insults, and they feel real bad about that. we need to win, I think, 5 in a row here. Well, 5 in a row against Carla to win. We're using the same kind of technique of saving and loading to try to manipulate the insults that we are getting. And so it happens pretty rapidly. One thing I did skip over, and Spade actually just won the fight there, but we grabbed 3 insults on the way in and 2 responses, and you can actually grab a secret one from the troll that, as he takes his mask off, looks oddly like George Lucas, but he does give kind of a secret insult that we use in this route.
Oh, get in the
but I'll
forest.
hand it back over to you, Spade, now that we're out of RNG Town.
Yeah, so now that we're done with the sword fighting trial, we're on to the trial of treasure huntery. So we're going to take a path through the forest here, and there's actually a little trick, a little glitch we can do by reading the map on this screen. We for some reason end up on the other side of the gap. It saves us a little bit of time, and oddly enough, it's the map there that tells us how to get through the forest. So we just come over here, dig up the secret treasure of Melee Island, and we dig up the secret treasure of Melee Island, and all we get is this lousy t-shirt. But now, normally we'd go to stands, but since we got credit early, we just head back straight to the village here. Now that we've completed the 3 trials, we're officially a pirate. Oh, keep walking, Guybrush. So let me get dressed for the job.
Making it official. Nice.
Yeah. So now what we need to do is rescue Elaine. Elaine was kidnapped. Governor Elaine was kidnapped by the ghost pirates and the ghost pirate LeChuck. So we'll need to get a crew together and a ship. And you may notice that all the pirates in the scum bar are gone. So we need to find some other pirates left on the island to man our crew for the ship. So we're going to go over back to the jail here where Otis was. We're going to bring him a nice drink. Don't worry about my mugs melting. Actually, casually, for this puzzle, you can grab up to 5 mugs. We can do it in 2, but you'd have to kind of transfer your grog between each mug. And again, we get to, normally this is where we'd come back into the shop to get the credit, but we got credit early. So we just skipped that trip as well. So now 2 more pirates to recruit, and we got to buy a ship. So I need to make note to myself that the dialogue with Stan is a little bit different when you get credit early. But we're going to head on over to Hook Island, fabulous Hook Island. So remember to get my chicken ready.
Yeah, always prep your chicken.
Always prep your chicken. Yeah. So you kind of missed it earlier, but we pick up a rubber chicken with a pulley in the middle. We don't actually get to see the voodoo lady in the speed run, but we steal her rubber chicken. Pew! Go across here.
The rubber chicken with the pulley in the middle has to be the most iconic from the series, right? Item-wise?
I think so. And they don't reuse it that often, though, unfortunately.
Does
so here's
make an
Meat Hook.
appearance in Escape.
A brief. So we recruit Meat Hook by facing the beast that took his hands. And it's a nice parrot, so we give it a little quick pat, and we're on our way. So it's 2 pirates down, 1 more to go. And luckily we know where one pretty fearsome pirate is. So we're going to go pay her a visit, see if we can convince her to join up. That's Carla, the sword master. So one little optimization we can do here is instead of coming out and talking to Carla, you just give her the kind of ransom note that the ghost pirates left, and she'll join us up right away. And then we just need to buy the ship. Here we go. Give note to Swordmaster. We don't even talk to her enough to learn her name in the run, but that's okay. Carla's pretty cool. She also makes a return appearance in Escape, which the Woofs, you've been speedrunning that lately.
That is my
Okay.
current goal at the moment, yeah.
Yeah. Lucky for anybody, all Monkey Island games do make for good speedruns. We're talking about Monkey Island 1 today, the secret of Monkey Island. Okay, so this should be 3, and then 5, and then 4. So we got to haggle our way. Want to cover some of that for me?
This is Yeah, the old trope in these 90s games, right? The part of the game where you go in and you needed to, you know, haggle with your local used ship salesman for a good price on your ship. So
there we go.
Another trope. But yeah, basically we're going back and forth here to basically bring the price down. We walk away from Stan at one point saying we're going to walk away from this deal, and that actually speeds up this process quite a bit. So that's some funny tech, I guess, by telling him no. But Spade crushed it there, and the dialogue, as you mentioned, does change because we got credit early, and we didn't have the first conversation we were supposed to with Stan, so pretty cool.
Yeah, and so we're on the ship now. This is part 2.
So yeah, this section here, yeah, we're basically doing a kind of a collect-a-thon here, just gathering a bunch of items. We need to cook some soup up, because it turns out making a soup will bring us to Monkey Island. And this is kind of an interesting section of the game. You know, as far as the lore goes, this crew that we've put together have mutinied on us, as you can see, enjoying some fruity drinks on the deck there. But this does showcase a couple cool things about the game. You can actually use items that you don't think you can with other things. So for instance, Spade opened up the cereal there, gives you the prize. You can just use the prize on the cabinet. Inside the prize is a key, and casually you would open the prize to see that. But you can just use it right away to get in there quicker. Spade also has a pretty unique way of going through this recipe here to put everything into the pot. You can use a couple different items to do the same thing. So to make the fire bigger, you can use the feather, or you can use the flag. So it's kind of up to you. And the method that Spade uses is pretty optimized to where you can kind of start at the top of your inventory and kind of scroll down. It's the least amount of clicks. So it's pretty cool.
And here we are on Monkey Island, the titular island. We will need to recruit a monkey, this fort. Pretty notorious for people playing casually, having a hard time finding this location. But of course, we know exactly where it is. Puzzle coming up where there's a couple different solutions, but we got a pretty fast one. So we're heading on up here to the top of the mountain. Pick this rock up real quick, skip through the dialogue. So this kind of rock launcher catapult puzzle, casually you'd either have to figure it out with trial error. Oh, got my movement a little mixed up there. Or you can use the spyglass you steal from Herman's fort to figure out which way your rock launcher's facing, but it's the same solution every time. So we just do quick couple pulls on the little thing down there, and we're on our way. We can't skip this dialogue with Herman, unfortunately. He will show up in a bunch of spots on the island. But that's, most of them we can skip, that one we can't. So we're doing a little quick buffer strat. We're gonna use the gunpowder on this dam here. Then we're gonna get the next action ready on my hotbar, and then quickly do it. So it's worth noting here that movement on Monkey Island's a little weird. So we're gonna use a little trick where we send Guybrush out that way, out this way, because sending Guybrush to a specific location is faster than just kind of clicking piece by piece over there.
Yeah, and that's just the case on Monkey Island as well. It's not the case on Melee or anything. Kind of unique.
Yeah, kind of a weird quirk, but we're able to use it there for some speed. So now that we've kind of ran around, grabbed a couple ropes, we can get these oars. We'll head back up, and we kind of skipped over it. But if you click on the beach down here in a specific kind of a way, you just instantly end up there instead of having to walk down, which is obviously a bit faster. So now we have this rowboat accessible. So we can head up to another part of the island now. And we need to gather some more bananas because we need help from a monkey. So we'll head up and visit the cannibals. Hopefully they have, the local island cannibals have some bananas we can borrow.
The natural combination, you know, cannibals and high potassium roots.
This is, yeah, one of the spots in the game where the snap scroll we had turned on before the run. Normally, you'd have to wait for the screen to finish scrolling to start talking to those cannibals, but it's a little bit faster this way. So it saves us a couple seconds each time we talk to them. So now that we have the bananas, we got to go back down to the bottom part of the island. We escaped from the cannibals there. And so another quick beach warp. And this monkey here, he can be a little squirrely. Let's see if I can get my finger on the right button. All right. There you go. We got him.
It's that pesky G key.
Yeah. He moves pretty fast and pretty erratically, so it can be hard to kind of catch him as he's moving. But we get him there. He does go up the tree. That's okay. So you got to give him all 5 bananas, or else he won't follow you all the way. So we need him to come with us up to the second giant monkey head you've ever seen. Let's come up here, over this way, to this clearing here. And this is a classic monkey see, monkey do. So we're going to pull this lever here on this totem pole's nose. All right, Jojo Senior here is going to copy us. Yeah, 5 bananas. Anyways, 5 bananas for such a little monkey. We grab this idol sitting in front of the giant monkey head because we'll need to give this to the cannibals because we'll actually need their help now to get into the giant monkey head. That's where we're trying to get. That's where we'll find the ghost pirate LeChuck and his ghost crew. So we got to go back up to the other side of the island and see if we can get some help from the cannibals.
Yeah, so this is another situation where the snap scroll will save us some time here by not having to wait for the screen to scroll all the way over and back.
So we talked to him.
It's a little bit of
the
a
idol, but we got to go
dialogue here.
Yeah, got to go out and back in. A lot of skips in the middle of the dialogue here, so we're going to try and time it as best as we can. So we give... Oh, it's in a different spot because of credit early in my inventory. I caught it. So we trade for the head of a navigator here. That's going to help us navigate through the catacombs beneath the head. And we're going to trade this banana picker to Herman for the key to the monkey head. So now we're basically good to go on our way here to get into the catacombs, which is another piece of RNG that we have to deal with. But we'll kind of do the same thing we did with sword fighting.
Yeah, it's kind of the nice thing about this is with the quick saves and quick loads, you can, not completely control it, but you can manipulate it a heck of a lot. So we use that in these kind of RNG heavy situations here. Catacombs are where, at least for me, a lot of my runs go to die, which is fitting once you see what it looks like. But it is a bit of an RNG mess down there.
So we actually just
we'll turn off
to
snap
make
scroll
the
here because
yeah,
the movement in here is weird.
The Q-tip.
Yep. The fun fact, they actually wanted to use the name Q-tip, but that's actually the brand name, so they have to call it, well, they call it the monkey head key, but they refer to it as a cotton swab.
Ah, okay.
So here
Lots
comes
of funny
catacombs.
little things like that.
Yeah. Okay, take it away.
Sure. So this section, casually, you need to go in. We have this navigator head here, and wherever the head looks, that's where we need to go. Unfortunately, the head is a little wonky. It doesn't always work the way you want it to. So we're looking for rooms quite like these ones where there's only 1 or 2 exits, and we can quickly rip through these. We're quick saving before we enter the next room once we have a good one, so we can reload it if the RNG is bad. Spade just flew through that. That was really, really good. So we're gonna grab the necklace off of the head here, and I guess I'll let you take it back over. That was really good.
Yeah, good catacombs.
This is nightmare fuel.
Yeah, so, I didn't get it. I was trying, if you put the necklace on at a certain timing, you can skip the animation it plays there, but we didn't quite get it. But it's a minor time loss. So we're heading on over. The ghost ship goes by pretty fast. So again, new area. Got to go around, grab all the items. But what we're looking for here is the voodoo root that the ghost pirates stole from the cannibals. And they'll use that to make a special anti-ghost voodoo root potion. So we can deal with these guys. But for now, we're kind of on stealth mission. Got to sneak around.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that you probably don't notice playing casually. Like you can just pick the feather off the floor. I always thought you had to touch the chicken right away. You can actually use the bowl with the grog instead of the other way around. There's a couple puzzles like that where you can go either direction, which is helpful. So
Yeah,
it's kind of an
sometimes
interesting little space
order
here.
matters, sometimes it doesn't. Okay. Luckily, we didn't soft lock. If your music glitches out, this crate can't play its fanfare and it'll soft lock the game. So glad that didn't happen, although it's pretty rare. So now we have the voodoo route, so we can go back to the cannibals and get our anti-ghost potion. So yeah, ghost ship goes by pretty quick. We skip over the cutscene, but we have our potion here. And we're back, and the pirates are gone. Well, shoot. Guess we're gonna have to, they went back to Melee Island. Marty!
Right, Scott.
Gotta go back to Melee Island. Anyways, here we are at the last part of the game. We're nearly there. We're nearly there. So we will have to deal with a couple ghost pirates here. Most notably, this guy. So we get to show off. Blammo. There's our anti-ghost voodoo root potion. There's that one guy dealt with, but we can actually sneak through this door here and avoid that guy. It's a little bit faster. So here we are. We're at the church because LeChuck is trying to marry Elaine. And we just can't have that. So I'll skip through the dialogue pretty quickly here. And one more. Oh, there it is. So we end up back at Stan's here. We lose our potion, but fortunately, I think we can find something here on the ground that'll help us out. So here he is. He's gonna yoink us out of the grog machine here.
Well, Chuck does not want to use chip.
And just be careful with
Doesn't
your
look like.
hitboxes there. Luckily, we used the root beer as a backup for our voodoo root potion. So now that LeChuck's dealt with, we're basically at the end. A couple more dialogues, a couple more cutscenes we have to sit through. But that's basically the run. It flies by pretty quick. And time will be on fade to black after the last dialogue. I'll give you the heads up. And there he is, the ghost pirate Yar.
Shouts out to the blimp cam.
Shouts out to the super loud fireworks. Here's Elaine. I love this piece of art here. Okay, looking for the dialogue here. You can lose quite a few seconds by choosing the less optimal dialogue, so we're just being careful here.
Yeah, you can't actually use the keyboard for this one either. You have to click on it.
Oh
which makes it a
shoot,
bit
we
harder.
forgot Herman. We forgot Herman on Monkey Island. And that's time.
27:30.
Did you just say 27:30?
Yeah, 27:30.
That's new world record.
Wow.
What?
Wow, dude.
That's, oh
GGs.
my gosh, that's